Don't want the blue man group. Yeah, GAM win.
Yeah. All I want from this game, I want both GAM and Wales to drop, like, ego. I want them to drop any persona of anything other than being a VCS team, and I want constant hands checking, right? I want level 1s, I want level 2s, I want just as much brawling as we could possibly get, because that's my favorite way to see these two teams, because when you got Renekton and Aatrox, you don't want to see boring laning phases. You don't want to see boring LeBlanc in the mid lane. Is where to kick things off as Carrix and Yowei take away for game number 2 between Wales and GAM.
Thank you, Rebel. And your way, isn't it so exciting when Kiaya got to get a counter pick? Wait a minute. Who picked second in that matchup?
A lot of interesting things happened here. My favorite little game that was just introduced to me is Enchanted Alava, and I feel like GAM has lost this game because they actually banned Yuumi, so they budged. They were too scared of Yuumi. We were playing Enchanted Alava for such a long time here, and then GAM just banned the Yuumi anyway. Someone needs to explain to me why suddenly people are just passing on Yuumi in first rotation after she was perma-banned for like 5 weeks now? Every single game? Things are happening in the VCS.
I mean, I think Yuumi has a very interesting place in VCS. It doesn't so much apply to these two teams, or at least it doesn't apply to GAM quite as much, is that VCS teams are super reliant on support roams. And I'm not saying B is not a roamer. He is. He's very, very good at it, but GAM doesn't rely on it as much.
I mean, he also roams on Yuumi anyway.
He did. But SGB, for example, are never picking Yuumi because they need Taki to roam. So maybe in the scrims, there's like a very low Yuumi priority. That's the only reasoning I can come up with. Oh, Cardi, you're in some trouble. Caught up by Killer Queen, has to burn his flash.
Beautifully done by Killer Queen too. Flash E into the wall. That's such a tiny little wall there.
Oh, Glory!
There we go. That's the Killer Queen Glory duo we want to see. That is some action in the early game.
There you go. I mean, it's a good start for Wales. CBL getting hooked, but can just W away.
The funny thing about this Enchanter topic, which I want to come back to, is that we end up with matchups that don't make any sense. So on one side, we have Rakan into Zeri, which is one of the things I hate the most. Everything about Rakan is really bad into Zeri. His engage with his ultimate, sometimes he can land on her, but it's really hard to do. And then she can just go cleanse if she's really worried. But then he also is full of shields. Everything he does is shields, and shields are really bad into Zeri, as we can see here. Yeah, it's not great. Zeri just gets movement speed and 3 shields. And on the other side, we have Pyke into the one champion, the one ADC that doesn't really care about Pyke soak. It's so funny. This is just POC, though. This is a really, really cool engage from Killer Queen. Then Glory. Yeah, enemy has no flash. And Kati just forgot about Glory's level 2, I guess, because you should really not do that, Kati.
It's true. Killer Queen gets down to the bot lane. Manages to isolate Style for just a moment. He has to burn his ghost, but was traded for Arietti's cleanse. So nothing too lethal there, and B he's doing his Pikely duties and saying, goodbye ADC, figure yourself out. I'm level 3, I'm leaving.
Yeah. I mean, we see this from B every single game. He once again got MVP last game with amazing roams. I'm a little bit... Oh,
hang on. It's GAM. It's time to dive, Nagia. You've got to hard outplay it, and he has, as there's a teleport coming in from Glory to fend them off. Kiaya having to use a flash just to get away. Lovely stuff by the Aatrox.
Oh, everything about that looked so scuffed. Now Kiaya's gonna die anyway.
Killer Queen smacks him into the wall.
Oh, what are you doing, GAM? I think they were trying to have a little bit more fun here. They stomped too many games in a row, and this was ambitious, to say the least. Diving Aatrox can be okay, because he's not a champion with many ways to outplay you, but they took too much time to figure out how to attack him, and then, yeah, well, the teleport was already on a timer, just a very, very tiny window to execute, and not enough damage between the two of them. In the end, Kiaya dies. It's another kill over to Team Wales' mid-jungle duo, in this case, Killer Queen, so they are off to a great start to run this second game. And Team Wales... There's one thing they do almost all the time against almost any team, go to 3 games. Maybe even against GAM.
True. It's very, very true. Imagine if Team Wales gets to Game 3 against GAM and Secret doesn't. I'm sure that would really change the course of the German Civil War that's been happening on the VCS English desk. But Arietti, he's in a lot of trouble. The spell shield comes out, but there's still the hook. There's still a Levi, and there is a dead Simmer.
Oh, the back and forth, the mind games between B and Arietti. I love to see them. Arietti, I have to call him out. He did have his flash available, and there was not much follow-ups to see after Pike Hook. So you probably should just flash that one, because once you flash the Pike Hook, I think you're safe. Could have lived, tried to outplay the Pike in the anti-dice, and gives a kill over to Style, which is the worst possible outcome, because now Style in a good position, Cull start, first kill, probably a plating on top of this, so accelerated Zeri. Everyone around the globe is complaining about Zeri right now.
Puts him into the wall. They're going to try and make up for their mistakes. A flash in from the Rakan.
No.
Not enough, because Zeri does Zeri things.
Killer
Gets
Queen?
back to the tower, but Killer Queen is not done. But with no wave here, this is risky. But Killer Queen does it well.
Well, too much hubris from Style. He played this a little too aggressively. He gets punished by Killer Queen. And Killer Queen, amazing Poppy performance so far. It's so funny to think about Killer Queen Poppy, because it's really not a champion you would associate with him if you just think about his best champs, Talon, stuff like that, Lee Sin. But Poppy actually plays so similarly in the early game, so aggressively. She can go for dice all the time. Sure, later on she transitions into team fighting tank, but the early game is just exactly what Killer Queen wants to do. Just perma-aggression as Righty dies.
The hook lands. There's no spell shield this time. There is a flash. B tries to follow, but can't quite do it.
Nicely done. This time he uses his flash. Could have used that earlier, Righty. Wouldn't have given a kill to Style, but at least he doesn't die this time.
As CBL has now returned to the lane, and these mind games between B and Arietti have actually been very fun to watch so far. I wouldn't mind keeping our eyes on this bottom lane as much as we can. There's not a huge amount going on elsewhere, and look who's back!
Oh, Killer Queen. Can he get the angle on B? I don't think he has it. Oh, he's not spotted!
Flash! Oh, they're going to go in onto Style, but with no wall there and a ghost pop.
Oh, the counterplay!
He's in so much trouble. He's going down low, but he should just about survive. The Ignite runs out. B, not level 6. Can't get the big X marks the spot. Tries to fake out a hook onto Arietti, but not quite.
Okay, it makes no sense that we have this support matchup, but it's POC to watch, that's for sure. There's so much going on in the bot lane. Both of these supports just looking for the opportunities to get the CC on enemy carries. This time Killer Queen actually getting punished for his adventure into the bot lane. And this is dangerous, because now the enemy bot lane is level 6, so next time you try this Killer Queen, there's probably just a B ultimate to kill you, or maybe even just Style with his ultimate being able to chase you down. So he needs to pick his fights more intelligently. So far, really good early game for him. Don't want to take anything away from that, but now comes the part of the game where you really have to think heavily and wide a lot about how you play these fights, because you can't overextend into Style Zeri.
You absolutely cannot.
Ah, they dodged the ward.
Yeah,
nice.
Good job. That ward's a real undercover agent there. Just continuing its mission of scouting. In the mid lane, Carty has recovered from the early blunder, keeping himself up in CS, mostly even. His rise will continue to scale on up. I'd like to see Glory perhaps try and head out to the early lanes. It's not a requirement on LeBlanc to get super far ahead anymore. Oh no. Look at the bot lane. Arietti's already used the spell shield. The hook comes out late and he'll be sent down.
Oh, and top lane,
Top
another
side,
disaster.
Immediately continues. Nagia has the wing spread, but Kiaya now needs
Never
to be careful
mind.
as he's losing. And Nagia just puts him down.
And I think Yai used his flash to start this fight, so he didn't have the flash to escape afterwards. That's
Poppy
not...
Factor.
Yeah, against Herald. He messed it up! Oh no, Killer Queen! Oh, that's hilarious and disastrous at the same time. Killer Queen, no! Poppy really wants to use her ultimate against the oncoming Rift Herald, because then you can buy time and actually get rid of the Herald. Get rid of the charge, akin to what Bart can do. So when did Kiaya flash on Nagia here? Where's his flash?
Question. He tries to flash away.
Oh, Kiaya!
Kiaya!
And he's an Aatrox specialist. That's a really big blunder. Kiaya with 2 big misplays so far in this game, and giving over a little bit of a priority and a little bit of gold to the top side of Wales. Now, both Nagia and Killer Queen have profited from Kiaya's mistakes, and this Renekton, most played champion by far by Kiaya in his whole career, 53 games, 75.5% win rate, so he is a really good Renekton. Not looking too slick today.
And into the mid lane they go. Carty has been caught out and put down by Glory.
BBL out-roaming B. What's that on my screen? I've never seen this before. And 5-2 in kills for Team Wales. This is the Team Wales we expected to see. Just constant aggression.
Levi moving in onto Glory. Will trade back. Big shutdown for him.
Good punish there from Levi. And we're moving into bot lane. It's another 3v2 potentially. Killer Queen wants the dragon, but he needs to be careful. Oh, that's the Hex Flash angle.
It really is. There it goes. It's just a normal flash straight over. Pops B up in the air. Gets another one with the ultimate, but B will manage to get away. Ariete under a lot of threat from Style. And now with Levi joining the fray, GAM are going to turn this around. Style continuing to get faster and faster. Does have to overextend to get the kill, but it doesn't matter. There's no punish. CBL sidesteps the W, but a sidestep is all it will be. Now Killer Queen in trouble. Doesn't have any way out of this one as he gets root prison. He gets taken down. And it's even a pike ult. He prints himself some money. And Team Wales, they play on the edge of infinity but fall.
But it's just a really good response for GAM. They show us why they've been so successful in the second half with that instant read. Style so aggressive on the other side of the fight. He knows Riot, he can't win the 1v1 against him, so just going for the 1v1 against Riot, he forces him back, and then look at all the shields from CBL he's going to steal and get extra movement speed. There's a shield on Killer Queen, there's another shield on Riot. So CBL really just hinting the shields into Zeri. This is why I hate Rakan into Zeri. It just gives her even more movement speed than she already has. This was another crucial auto attack from Style, hitting over the wall on Killer Queen, so extending the ultimate auto attacks, which gives quite a little bit of extra damage and movement speed over to this carry as well. Finally being able to cash in is great for B, who's had a cool but a little bit quieter game compared to the last one, and now GAM find themselves for the first time in the game with a gold lead and the first dragon under their belts.
It is only a small gold lead though, so Team Wales definitely still in this one your way. It is the battle of different halves of the map. The bottom side for GAM, very accelerated, very strong, but as you can see, Nagia is punishing this Renekton.
Oh, yeah, really struggling so far, but Carty also getting punished.
Carty in a lot of trouble, gets zooped back in the lane, trying to use a Realm Warp, but nope, that will not be enough. He will fall.
Yeah, there we go. Very sad Carty. That is one of my favorite emotes. It looks so funny. But yeah, both solo laners struggle for GAM. This is a little bit reminiscent of the start of the whole season, right? This is why GAM lost some of their early series. It was mostly just because their 2 solo laners were underperforming. They're back in form now, but today, at least in this game, a little bit of a callback to the start of this season. Maybe enough for Wales to profit with at least 1 game victory.
Maybe. That tower is very low your way. As CBL finds a B in a bush, but he's able to just roll away, no problems. At the moment, as they're just farming this one out. And your way, I have to ask you the question, is who wins? A very strong LeBlanc and Aatrox, or a Zeri?
Well, LeBlanc is actually one of the champs that might be able to lock it down. McCarty under a lot of pressure again. Levi's here.
Yeah, I think he'll be falling. No, never mind. Oh, yes, he will. Levi tried to be a hero, but now Team Wales has reinforced in force. Kiaya in the backside could try and do something. Poppycopter is perfect. Nearly saves Nagia, but B is there to get the done.
And B spreading so much gold over to the top side now, really bailing out his failing top side now as well. I'm not sure who got the kill credit. Might have been Kiaya, which would be a boon for him, because he's struggling in this matchup. In the meantime, though, good macro answer from Team Wales, just letting their ADC take the first tower of the game. which is now... Oh, yeah, it was the first tower of the game. So this Sivir 0-3 in terms of kill score, but actually with a lot of gold from the plates and the early tower gold, so might be able to provide a little bit of late game insurance too.
Yeah, absolutely could. And so let's go into the replay. Let's see. Yeah, Cardi just overextended.
Yeah, not much Cardi can do. He's under so much pressure, and this Rice pick not really working out. I really like the answer from Team Wales. The whole game just geared towards punishing Rice, because if you get mid lane prio, and your top lane is also winning, like Nagia is, you have so much to play for. You have so much space on the map you can control, and it's really working out for Wales. Unfortunately, the other side of the map is holding them back. Yes, Gam's bot lane sitting on 5 kills between the two of them, and 2 of those are Pike kills, so that's 2 extra kills. And, well, does it really matter that your mid lane is 0-4 when your Zeri is 3-1? We have to see. We have to see.
Sure. We will have to see, but I will say, even with the Pike money printer having spun up twice, it is still Team Wales with gold lead.
Yeah, very true.
So, they're doing, in terms of real gold, they're actually even further ahead. I know that's not how that works before anyone gets angry at me. A Herald summoned up in the mid lane. This should be a tower now going down for GAM, so they should pull ahead just a little bit.
Killer Queen not in position to try again. Maybe better for him because he failed miserably last time. That's a tower.
Oh, no. Levi now moving in. CBL trying to hold them back, but GAM are here in force. Cardi picks up a kill. Killer Queen coming in. I don't think that's where you want to be. He's now got to play around 4. Can knock the Zeri away. Now with Nagia coming in, he might be enough. Glory here as well. Wing forward. They take down Cardi, but it's still style that matters. Killer Queen going down. Nagia trying to do everything. Lands 1, lands 2, but it doesn't matter when Ariete falls. Nagia will go down. Never mind, he'll get over the wall, but it's only Glory and Nagia. Nagia dead. Once again, your way. It looks close until it isn't.
Yeah, and there was no reason to try to defend the tower. We also, I actually want to shout at my analysts again, because they looked at this Aatrox pick into Zeri and said, well, Aatrox can't do anything against Zeri, she just walks away, and that's exactly what happened this team fight. Lori on the hunt, can Style survive? No, double kill!
Oh! Okay, out of nowhere, Carti arriving now, has a Realm Warp. This should get a kill onto Glory, but now Carti's worth gold again, your way.
Finally a VCS game today. Look at the kill score, 21 in 17 minutes. But here, this is a huge mistake for Wales. They could... the bot lane just... You can't really say anything, but that's an int, because why would you stay under tower when you know the charge is coming in? They just gave away 2 kills, or should have been 2 kills for free. Ariete barely surviving and then getting pulled back in by some calls of his team. I think Nagia really trying his best, but the Zeri can just go melee mode into Aatrox and doesn't have to fear anything. Even Kiaya finally getting to participate in this game. A kill on Ariete, and now Nagia gets executed by Style as well. So a lot of kills over to Style, some money over to the Pike as well, and finally Kiaya in the game too. We see GAM profiting with a decent gold lead. Now, they did lose the Dragon though, so honestly, the whole run of play still kind of okay for Team Wales.
It's definitely not as bad as it could have been. The fact that Glory is now 6-2, has that second item, is doing a lot of damage now with the Shadow Flame picked up. They're funneling farm onto Ariete. You can see they know they need to get him caught up. They know that this Sivir, it's 0-4 at the moment, but it needs to end the game with a lot more kills than that, deal a hell of a lot of damage. Wales are not out of this.
Oh, for sure. They're actually playing GAM much more closely than the first game, especially when you look at the mid-game transition. And 20 minutes in, there's no big dragon lead for GAM either. Last game, we were already looking at a 3 dragon lead, or at least they tried to get to 3 dragons. That was the one team fight Team Wales actually won the last game. So as long as they don't get caught again at 25 minutes right around Baron and give over the free Baron for GAM, they should be fine. They still have a lot of scaling. They actually, Style has a lot to keep in mind this game. They don't have the hard CC to lock him down easily, but they still have Poppy W. They have things like Sivir movement speed, enabling LeBlanc to get into the backline, even enabling CBL. So it's not an easy game to play for Style. It's possible to avoid everything, but he really needs to be on his best behavior to carry this one.
One of the problems that I think Glory is going to run into if this game goes to distance is the fact that he's up against an Umbral Glaive user without one of his own. Because the most important thing for LeBlanc is vision control. If you have superior vision, LeBlanc is an extremely powerful champion. If you do not have superior vision, she's barely a champion. This is something that Jensen, the collegiate NA coach Jensen, not the mid laner Jensen, talks about a lot, is LeBlanc and vision. And the fact that you're up against a Pyke that will be clearing all of the vision you put down and leaving those zombie wards everywhere makes it very difficult in my opinion.
So far, she's still been able to get some kills with the help of Killer Queen, mostly in open terrain though, so not really looking for what you just mentioned, like the vision plays, right? She's not really been playing...
As the game goes on, you have to move into
Definitely,
right?
So it's going to be more and more difficult. I think Glory's best move... Oh, Style, where are you?
Style in the middle of nowhere pops the ult, but Killer Queen will clear him up. That's Dunderheaded.
And that's exactly what you just talked about. Using vision pockets where there was absolutely nothing for GAM. GAM had no idea what was going on there. And Glory finds the flank. Killer Queen executes from the other side. Style also just completely lost on the map. That's more time for Sivir to scale. That's more money in the pockets of Glory and Killer Queen. And the game is still on a nice edge. This is by no means over. GAM, this is the biggest contest they've faced since probably Saigon Buffalo Game 2, where they kind of got stomped, and that was a few weeks ago, so GAM really needs to step up their mid and late game. So far, this has been their strongest part of the whole split, where every single time they've gone to the late game, even against Cerberus, if I remember correctly, it looked like Cerberus would win, and then GAM just out-team fought them. So it's still more than possible. They've been the best team fighting team, the best late game team, but they once again need to show it in this game.
Arietti. He's in a lot of trouble as he's got B and Levi moving in, but manages to evacuate to a safe spot, and GAM have to call it off.
Right, he with Flash and Cleanse ready, and all his team members here as well, is actually in a decent spot to just overextend a little bit in the mid lane. As Levi's looking for Killer Queen. What are we actually playing for GAM's side? 50 seconds for Dragon. Oh no, CBL.
Oh, CBL's been caught and immediately taken down. That really hurts. Now, full vision control around Baron for GAM. They can threaten a Baron and force Team Wales to face check them.
Argia no E now. Oh, they lock him down. Can they find the fight?
Yeah, Nagia trying to get something done. Style has popped the ultimate. This Aatrox is so important. It's a big point of strength. Arietti trading back and forth. Glory, Killer Queen moving in. Glory's low, though. Has to be careful as he actually moves away. That was the clone, of course. But there's a Realm Warp. This is Baron.
Okay, Baron started, and it's going down pretty quickly. Killer Queen is full HP, though. No Flash. Does have Hex Flash. And has the Blast Cone. Yep, he has a good chance to steal this. Uh-oh.
He does. If he can get anything done.
Oh,
can he
beautiful.
get over the wall? No! Smited away. Kiaya played Bouncer perfectly, but now a fight will break out. Arietti trying to get something done. Renekton ejected from the fight. Levi diving onto the backside, but a good flash means he's stranded out there. It's one kill picked up. They need more, but fast recalls will ensure they don't get it.
And it's the start of potentially the run of play that wins GAM the game. So many times in the last few weeks, it was Baron, first Baron into a huge gold lead. And once again, you can look at the gold lead, it's starting to get bigger and bigger. And if GAM can utilize this Baron to just take down turret after turret and advance their game state, it's probably once again gonna be, oh, Kati, what have you done? Good dodge, though.
Yeah, can they get anything done? They throw out the Boomerang Blade. He's very tanky, though. Has the stopwatch. B gets the kill with the big dunk. It is a 1-for-1 at the moment, but a 1-for-1 where a Pyke gets a kill is not a fair trade.
Style is on the other side of the map, and still Wales not confident enough to move in to take the dragon. It is going to cost
They don't
them
have
some
the
time.
DPS against it. These new these new dragons, they take a while.
Well, you do have almost 3 item Nagia, so I think they could have done it, but it's maybe a risky choice, and GAM prioritizing Dragon over pushing for more turrets, so it's not going to be the huge gold lead explosion we've been used to seeing. But now Kiaya under a lot of threat. Really nice counter move from Wales, just trying to go for the kill.
Yeah, he has the flash. There's a movement speed boost coming in. Knockup comes down. Kiaya should be put in the dirt, but what do they lose in exchange? It's already 1 tower. Actually got them off the dragon. So Wales kind of making big moves here as long as Ariete can clear this wave safely.
They're losing 2 inner towers though, and actually giving GAM the gold lead they weren't really expecting to get from this Baron after Wales made some good moves on Carty. Now still losing 2 dragons, towers I should say, and the gold lead is sitting at 5k. It's salvageable, it's comebackable. You have some really strong members in top, mid lane, and even ADC, even though Ariete's 0-5. He's looking at almost 3 items now, so it's certainly not over. Wales is also going to stall the Dragon Snowball, so GAM will need a second Baron this time around, but they are putting themselves in a better and better position. Really strong members on their side too.
Levi is around, moves in
Oh,
into
no.
Ariete. Oh no! Carty steals the dragon with the spellbook smite. Killer Queen now on the run. I don't think he can get away though, as there's the dunk. X marks the spot, and I guess these whales are beached.
Wales has so many good moments. Oh, good flash from CBL to avoid getting executed there as well. Didn't really look to be in range, but maybe he was. This is a very strong pike. This should be an inhibitor now for GAM out of nowhere, and there's one moment in these games, it's just the consistency. It's basically a race against GAM. Who's more consistent over the whole course of the whole game? Yes, Wales is able to get some plays. They had some really good early games. They dominated the mid-jungle, but they just can't play to the end. It's a very interesting matchup where Wales mechanically can stand up to GAM in a lot of these situations, but just 1 or 2 little interactions later on in the game just lead to GAM getting too big of an advantage here. Style almost able to kite this.
I hate Zeri.
I knew you would say that. That was some really good kiting though.
I hate Zeri.
It's fair enough. That was a little disgusting, to be fair. Fortunately, Glory is strong enough to just put 1 point-and-click Q on him and he dies. It was close, and GAM now, with the inhibitor in top lane, definitely the favorites to win this game once again.
Oh, he just walks in.
Killer Queen had smite. There's
And
no
the thing
excuse
is,
for him.
There's
Absolutely
no excuse because Carty does not get an upgraded smite.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Carty has a smite there, but it's only a level 1 smite. He gets a 450 damage smite. It's just a mistake from... Don't get me wrong, it's hard because he timed his burst at the same time, but you're a jungler. You have to hit that.
Yeah, and it's devastating too because stalling the dragons was actually a really nice way for Wales to make sure GAM can't just take over the game instantly. Glory, They're on top of Zeri.
He's having to do what he can. They're trying to do everything they can here. Nagia moving in, landing some knockouts. Glory going low, and it's going to be Carty in the backside. He's empowered. He's got his items already taken down 2. He's on top of Ariete. He's got 3. He wants more. It's not going to be a Penta as one's already been taken away, but it's 4 members of Wales taken off the map. And it's to the top lane we go, and they want to finish this game.
And Carty, untiltable this game, was picked on so many times, misplayed some situations too, was 0-4 at the start, and now he's carrying teamfights, stealing dragons, doing everything for his team. Style just a bait, actually went for the tanky build, and now was able to just stand there in the teamfight, not doing anything, while Carty destroyed the back half. 28 minutes, and suddenly we see the Nexus falling down. GAM, they are just too good for this league. It has to be said, Wales tried everything. They got very close, some really good moves